Hey everyone, I'm back with part 2 of Survey Says, our pageant survey, and I'm excited to share with you today some of the things that we found out through this pageant survey. As we mentioned to you before, this was just a way to kind of get a pulse on what the pageant community was feeling, their thoughts on different topics, what makes you tick as a pageant contestant, what makes you decide which pageant to do, and all of these different things combined. So today we're coming to you with part 2. Hopefully you saw part 1. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you saw part 1. And also comment down below if you agree and disagree with what our survey respondents said on these topics. So the first question in this part 2 survey was, what makes you decide to choose one pageant over another pageant if they're both equally good? And let's get real here for a second. There are some really good pageants out there. How do you distinguish which one you're going to do? Let's find out what our pageant respondents said. So 44.79% of you said reputation and prestige of the title. That is actually not a surprise to me because the title itself, or the prestige of the title and the reputation of the system, is something that we've already seen from one of the other survey questions, is something most pageant people think is super important. So that was not a surprise. Number 2, 33% of you said pageant location and dates, which I found that interesting because location, we talked about that in part 1 of this series. So location, we all know, is super important to you, but pageant dates, I guess that makes sense if the pageant dates align with your schedule or not. Prize package surprisingly came in at only 9%. That was a shock to me. I thought for sure prize package would be the number one thing people look for when selecting between one pageant and another, but it wasn't. So that was eye-opening for me. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down below. On the topic of prize package, so the question was, when it comes to prize package, what's more important to you? 41% of the respondents said that trips and experiences was the most important thing. 29%, which was our number 2 highest one, said cash scholarship, money going into your pocket. Right under that was 14%, which was a very low number compared to 41 trips and experiences and 23 for cash going in your pocket. 14% said college money going straight to the college was the important thing. Gifts and prizes came in at only 2.5%, so that was a shock. Trips and experiences being the number 1 thing that people said was most important. I have to say I was a little surprised by that. I thought for sure the cash money in the pocket would be the number 1, but I guess trips and experiences kind of last a lifetime, and cash you can blow in 5 minutes. So that does make sense. So that is the order in which they came in: trips and experiences, cash money in your pocket, cash money going to your school, and then last but not least, gifts and prizes. The next question we asked was, with so many pageant systems around, what makes a pageant system stand out to you from all the rest? What differentiates it for you? And at the number 1 spot at 54.26% to be precise, is how much the National Queens get to do and experience during their year. This was not surprising to me, as I know that social media plays a huge role in people's perception of a pageant system. And of course, if the National Queens are active and are always doing things and are traveling and getting to do all of these incredible opportunities like our UNM National Queens do, then I get that makes sense, that really does distinguish one system from another. Number 2 was 27%, 27.76% to be precise, how much they impact their communities through a national platform. I was really happy to see this. I didn't think that this would be like the number 2 spot, just because I know it's important to a lot of people. But usually when people talk about pageants, the number 1 thing they always look for is, what am I going to get out of this experience? So it was really nice to see people saying, hey, what are we going to be able to give out of this experience? So that was great. 27%. Not a high number, but still nice. After that, it was the look of the national stage and production. Not as high up there as we would like to think anyways. I think that's super important, but obviously what the National Queens get to do and experience, that is what separates a pageant system from another one when they're both equally good. So that made a lot of sense to me. What do you guys think? on the topic of social media, so we asked our pageant respondents, what gets you to register for a pageant? Like, what's the best way to reach you, to get you to consider doing a pageant? And the number one way, 36%, was social media post advertising the pageant. So social media really does work. But number two, at 26%, 26.50%, was a direct message from the Queen or from the national director inviting you. So that personal touch there actually, does still matter in our social media world, but still taking that number one spot is a social media post promoting the pageant and letting you know that the pageant registration is open. So this might sting a little, and I almost did not put this question in there, but I felt it was important. It's always been something that's been important to me as a former pageant mom. Something I always looked at when Kayla, my daughter, was competing in pageants. So the question that was posed to our pageant respondents were, if a director posts rude or passive aggressive things on social media, would that cause you to change your mind and whether you wanted to be a part of that pageant? Honestly, I was fully expecting people to say, no, not really. Everyone kind of has a bad day here and there and takes it out on social media, or everyone airs their dirty laundry every now and again on social media, which is one of my biggest pet peeves when people do. So I just fully didn't expect that 92% of people said, yes, it would definitely make me change my mind if I saw a director posting rude or passive aggressive things on their social media. 92% of people said it would change their mind whether they wanted to participate in that pageant or have their children participate in that pageant. I was shocked. I was really not expecting that. We've seen some pretty heavy things on social media throughout the years, and by all visuals, it just didn't seem to really impact anything or change anything for anyone. It's just kind of par for the course for most people. So it was really nice to see that people actually, when they thought about it, said, yeah, you know what? If a director is doing that, then maybe this is not the pageant that I want to align me or my children with. So only 2.85% of pageant respondents said it would not deter them. It would not change their mind. So, so those 2.85% don't care about bullying and aggressiveness and stuff like that on social media. But it made my heart really, really happy to see that 92.09% of you said, absolutely not. If a director is doing that, there's no way I'm going to get my daughter involved under that leadership, under that mentorship. There's no way that they're going to be able to offer what I'm looking for. So that was interesting. Hopefully not stepping on any toes here, not trying to. Please do not think that I am. Definitely not the intention. But as one of my pet peeves, I see this happen, not just in pageantry, but in general, football coaches and, teachers and things like that, people who we place our children under their care and under their mentorship. I truly believe they should be held to a higher standard when it comes to their social media, even if it's their personal social media. I don't believe any dirty laundry should be aired or any grievances should be discussed publicly like that at all. So that made me really happy. I'm thinking maybe people are starting to wake up to, character and how you portray yourself really does matter. So that was just a personal win for me. Just on a personal note, I thought that was a good sign for the pageant world. I'd be interested to know. Drop a comment below if you agree with any of the answers that we have shared today. Do you agree with most of them? Are there any of them that stick out to you? Drop us a comment and let us know what your thoughts are. We would be curious to hear it. And that's it for the pageant survey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.